Discipline and consistency separate the good from the great.
Welcome to the Millionaire Woman Show, where we'll be discussing leadership, business, human potential, inspiring you to live rich from the inside out. Unlock your creativity, stretch out of your comfort zone, break through your barriers, take inspired action, and achieve epic results. Now here's your host, three-time best-selling author, speaker, and certified executive coach, Debra Kasowski.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Millionaire Woman Show. I'm your host, Debra Kasowski. Let's take on slaying the day and overcoming resistance. No, resistance comes in our path on a regular basis. Every day we wake up, we have new opportunities in front of us, our goals, our dreams, and new things that we want to check out. And suddenly, hesitation creeps in. Procrastination, delaying things that you know you need to do, those distractions, that lack of trust in self, self-doubt, fears, and excuses, followed by explanations, tend to creep in. And then you remember the words that others have, that self-doubt of their own. Do you really think you can do that? Nobody really cares, and we don't think you're going to make it. That, my friends, is the voice of resistance, telling you that there's something better for you. Matthew Kelly's book called Resisting Happiness, fantastic book. And he talks about resistance wearing the mask of discouragement, never giving in to that discouragement. Don't let it fool you. Discouragement is not the path of least resistance. You need to push through the resistance to see what you're made of. We are hardwired to avoid discomfort, and we often seek comfort even when it's to our benefit. You see, resistance challenging us to think differently and see the world in a different way. We need to get ahead of this resistance, and this is often done through discipline and habits. Resistance does not like discipline, because when you're disciplined and you have habits in place that take out any distractions, that take out any chances of failure, you are the one winning. And every single day, you're winning the battle against resistance to slay the day and overcome those challenges. So instead of succumbing to, well, I just don't feel like it, saying, I'm going to do it well, and I'm going to do it. Acknowledging that resistance when it shows up, knowing it is a teacher. Fear of change, fear of loss. Often that fear of loss comes from being attached to things. And your happiness is not dependent on things, material things. You can be happy without those material things around it. It is about whatever you're giving meaning to things. The fear of making a decision, making a wrong decision. Self-doubt is another form of resistance. Questioning whether you have the knowledge, skills, and ability, and comparing yourself to others. Those limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns, really thinking, am I enough? Excuses and explanations for all the reasons why you're not following through on something. Oh, I could do it later. Or, you know what? They did this or they did that, and this is why I didn't follow through. You need to start taking 100% responsibility for the results that you're getting in your life, those outcomes that you want to achieve. So are you getting comfortable with negative patterns, such as watching TV to escape from doing the things that you know you could be doing to make you better, getting closer to achieving those goals and dreams? What is one thing that you know you should be doing that you have been delaying? What is that one thing that is stopping you from slaying your day? What is that one thing that pushes you ahead faster than you ever thought possible? When you determine where some of that resistance is coming from, ask yourself questions, challenge your assumptions. You might tell yourself a limiting thought that says, I'm only creative when this happens, or I'm only creative in this environment. Now, that's a limiting belief. And why? Because you're already creative in who you are. It is about how you're showing up. You're not creative only in certain circumstances. You are creation. You are a creator. So to remember that. So you need to also start changing the way you think about things and the way you take action on things. So some of the things that if you change the way you think about them, you can change your entire life. You can change the entire results just by doing these simple actions. Now, some of the things that I'm thinking about, for example, when somebody's working full time and building that side hustle that's turning into a dream to be their full time work, desire, their passion. Some of you could say, you know what? How are you going to ever do that? You're working a full time job. You're trying to do this. You're trying to do that. Well, instead, shifting your mindset. Don't let it in your mind to begin with, and think of your employer or your job as a place where you're gaining the skills that you need. Your employer is your banker, your investor in your dreams. Now, when you shift your thinking, your language in that way, wow, things change. Reframing things you don't care to do and need to get done, and testing your attention to the detail and the quality of your work. Now, these actions might seem small, but you know what? These are the habits that transfer into how you show up in life. It could be anything from cleaning the bathroom to filing something to sending that email. When you do it to your best ability, paying attention to the details, that leads to the bigger picture of how you show up, how you're seen, the meaning you create, the impact you make. Now, you can also focus on reward versus penalty. So often, people are like, oh, well, I got to do another set, or, oh, I have to read, this many pages, or, oh, I need to give this presentation to the board. Instead of looking at it as a trial and a tribulation, I want you to be setting yourself up for success. Think about the rewards after the fact. You might have the kudos, you might have a cozy bed or a hot shower after. Really looking into the long-term vision. Too often we're getting caught up in the moment where we're not feeling the way we want to feel. We feel challenged, we feel struggle, we're pushing through that resistance, instead of thinking, when I get this done, how will I feel? What results will be coming, without being attached to the outcome. It's pretty amazing if you learn to detach from those outcomes and really give your best effort and paying attention to the detail, no matter what the task is. You're not defined by the task. The results come from your attention. Now, think about also what options are available. You might be focused and zoned in on only one option of how you can approach things. So think about the different things you can do. It's not an all or nothing scenario. Maybe there's times where you do part of the work now and part tomorrow. There might be times where you just jump in and get all the work done tonight. Or it might be it gets all saved for tomorrow. So these are just some of the options that you can think about when you see a task at hand. What is going to be to your benefit? What are you going to be most proud of? And what are you going to be happy with in the end? There's more than one way to get to the same place. Now choose which way you want to go so you can get what you want. To take the sting out of some of the actions that you need to do that you don't like to do, pair them up with something you do like to do. Now you could be, vacuuming or cleaning the house, putting a podcast on, zooming around with the vacuum, whatever it might be. You can crank the tunes and have a dance party while you dust, or you're preparing for a report, or whatever it takes for you to pair with something you've been avoiding. It might be that you're decluttering your office or you're making a plan. Some people avoid those things just because they don't feel like they're going to set themselves up for success. Find ways to even turn it into a game. When I'm out riding the bike or running, I got to tell myself, 1 more kilometer, 5 more minutes. Come on, it's just 5 more minutes. You can do anything, and giving that extra nudge, that extra push to become better version of yourself each and every day. Now, the other thing you can do is start making things automatic. They don't require a lot of thought. You're not expending a lot of energy. You just set yourself up for success. That is like, reflecting on your day, planning for tomorrow, looking at your plan for the day, seeing if any adjustments, making sure that you put that hard thing right up front. You can do hard things, but when you put that hard thing, or eat that frog, as Brian Tracy refers to it, that task that you're avoiding right at the front, You get that done, you're building momentum for the rest of your day, and you're out crushing it and slaying the day and making things happen. So think about putting your gym clothes out or your clothing out for the day so that you don't have to think. You just go into automatic and instead of spending a half an hour trying on clothes, taking them off, deciding what you're going to wear for the day. If you have it all set up, you are going to just put it on and get going and jump into your day. You might have morning routines that you've set up for yourself as well. Getting that food prep done so you can avoid making different choices than what you would like to have, because it's ready, available, and you don't even have to think about it. Resistance is telling you that you can be better. The situation can be better. Examine it. Challenge the thinking that you're having. What steps do you need to take to slay the day and crush out that resistance, knowing that you have a handle on this? You've got this. Resistance shows up. And it can come with the mask of discouragement. It can come and say, you know what, I'm taking you down today. Or you can rise up and say, I'm going to win this battle to the best I can do today. And resistance, you are not going to win. I'm going to slay my day. I'm going to overcome the resistance. And I'm going to make things happen because I see the results. I see the rewards that are just waiting for me to grab them, seize them, and move in to that momentum that I truly deserve. Thank you for watching or listening, and make sure you hit the bell for notifications if you're on YouTube, and subscribe, rate, and review this podcast so more people can hear more about it. And thank you for joining me. If you go over to my website at www.debrakasowski.com, you will get your free 3-part video course of making habits stick. Control those derailers. Focus and consistency is what it takes to make those goals and dreams happen, but they all come from the littlest thing, the habits you set in place. You can also find out more about coaching with me if you go to Debra@debrakasowski.com and pop me an email. Tell me what you're working on so we can set up a plan for your success. As Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. And my wish for you is to make today great. Go out and slay the day and make things happen.